So The Six-Sided Man is based on the Dice Man by Luke Reinhardt. It's a cult novel from 1971. It's never been out of print. There are lots of people all over the world who are dice livers. And the theme of the show, which Gavin has turned into a kind of just over an hour-long play, is a psychiatrist who invents a form of therapy. You assign choices to a die, you roll the die, you do what the die tells you to do. Of course, it's the ultimate abrogation of responsibility, so it ends up with pretty messy results. Dark, quirky, very funny as well in places, but dark humour. It's just the two of us. There's really no set. There's a desk and a couple of chairs. There are 3 frames at the back that represent choice, fate, will, if you like. So we don't have any props. We mime everything in the show, from hand washing under a sink to a photocopier. I think it's come right round. When we did the show up here in 2010, we found all of a sudden a lot of people who roll dice as a regular part of their daily routine kind of came in to see the show and connected with it. I think we're finding a similar sort of vein of connection, but from a slightly different audience. And this is millennials who are kind of just finding out about the theme of the show, and they're kind of going, risky, interesting. Gavin and I have been doing the show since 2008. So, and the interesting thing is that this is its 30th anniversary year. Gavin actually wrote the show 30 years ago. And curiously, it was the first time they did it at Edinburgh. They did it at Assembly. He made the show with Andy Dawson. Gavin's background is Mime Theatre Project, so he made the Thunderbirds FAB show, which was in the West End for, well, it still holds the record, I think 6 separate appearances. The show is quite physical. It's a play with movement, we call it. So there are kind of movement interludes in between more traditional sort of text-based theatre. So why bring it to Edinburgh when you've done it so many times? We've done it in Australia 3 times, we've done it in the USA 3 times. It's toured all round. But at the heart of it's 2 friends who really enjoy doing this show together. So why not, keep doing it? And Edinburgh is a trade fair, so we are constantly aware of, just trying to look for opportunities to do the work in new surroundings, in a new environment, and to a new audience, which is always emerging. And we've partnered it this year, so we are also in repertory with another show that Gavin's made called Escape from the Planet of the Land That Time Forgot, which is a B-movie spoof. So the 2 shows kind of sit quite happily side by side. One is sort of slightly darker, quirkier, funny with a little bit of meat in it. The other is just full-blown silliness for an hour. Yeah, I will be seeing a lot of other shows, and I've already seen quite a few. There's some really interesting stuff this year, and I think that the nature of the Fringe is changing quite a bit. I mean, I think there were nearly 400 or 500 more shows here last year, which had a direct influence on the pound in people's wallets just wasn't going as far. So audiences across the board were, I think, up, but in terms of where they were up, you do realise that Edinburgh is very much driven by stand-up comedy. So this year it feels busier, healthier, and certainly here at Assembly Roxy, good audiences and a nice buzz. It feels like Edinburgh's got a spring in its step this year.